All right. Say hello to everybody here real quick. Let's just screen share here. Friday. And last but not least, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great today. I'm working from home. Matt will be working half day today. He is going to be going to a funeral at noon. So Matt will be here most of the day. I will be working from home. So you may actually see Clyde a little bit today. Let me say good morning to everybody. You got John, Dave, Ivano, Dave, Pete, Glenn, Lydia, Arnolfo, Richard, Deanna, Brian. The weather's actually pretty crisp today. It's a little chilly today. Let's see. We got Richard, Deanna. We got Eagle Beagle. Good morning, Eagle Beagle. JB, Stewart, Robert. Good morning. We got Patrick. We got Devin. We got Wayne. We got Cam. Good morning, Cam. And if I mispronounce somebody's name, the last thing I want to do is offend you. Piet de Brock from the Netherlands. Good morning and happy Friday, Piet. Wayne, Cam, Art, Jeff, Bill. We got, let's see who else we got here. We got a lot of people here today. Ali, good morning, Ali. We got Art. We got Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. Thank you for that email yesterday. Very, very interesting. Bill, Rebecca, Rochelle, the sassy trainer. Penny's in the house. Good morning from Florida, Penny. Good morning. Hope you and the hubby are doing well. Peter, Jody, Henry, Flying Ronan's in the house. James, Mark, Beamclay, Robert. Two Roberts, actually. Stan, CJ. It says good morning from Louisiana, but it doesn't have a name. Whoever you are from Louisiana, good morning. Ricky, One Sotheby International. Look at you. Kadersha. Good morning, Kadersha. And again, if I'm getting your name wrong, please, not doing it on purpose. David, Chris, Eduardo. Hola. Good morning, hola. Eagle Beagle. Thank you, Eagle Beagle. Tiaga, I think it's Shrika. Hopefully I got it right. Tyler, Jan, Larry, Illinois grain farmer, Delbert, Ray, Gavin, Javad. I don't know if it's Javad or Havad. Dave, Vernon. Good morning, Vernon, the sassy trainer. Again, I apologize if I got your name wrong. That's not what I'm trying to do here. The sassy trainer, Lewis, Daniel, Lewis, Sherman. We got Nathan. Good morning, Nathan. Steve, Dr. Serena. Sorry to hear you've been sick. We were all curious about you. Glad to have you back, and I'm glad you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. But I'm so sorry you weren't feeling well. We missed you here. We were all worried about you. No joke. People will tell you. We were all asking about you. Tom, Delroy, Tim, Kyung, uh, Kyung. Yes, Kyung. Alpha Zone classes are great. We're going to have another class today at 10:30. William, Thomas, Scotty, Edgar. Yeah, I'm glad you're feeling better. Arnolfo, Gustavo, good morning. David, Richard, happy Friday to you too. Oh, I need a day off. I do need a day off. Jean, good morning, Jean. Carlos, yes, we're all glad to have Dr. Serena back. See, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Nice community, a community of traders. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Dr. Serena. So sorry to hear that. That's not good. Well, I hope you're going to be okay. Good morning, Genevieve. Yes, Samson, Kirk, Carlos. Good morning, everybody. We'll be starting in about 1 minute. Murray, about getting back. Mia's mommy comes back. Yeah, she comes back at 10:30 tonight. She actually sent me some pictures last night. She went to visit my cousins and the kids. I haven't seen the two kids. The last time I was in LA, I was there for my cousin's wedding. And since then, it's been about 5 years. They've had two kids, and I haven't seen them yet. So I will have to go, but I'm waiting for them to have a direct flight back to LA. I can't take these 7 hour flights to 8 hour to get to Los Angeles thing. It's crazy. Good morning, Brian, William, Murray, Carlos, James, Vertuvian. Good morning. Good morning. So let me start off by giving a couple of links real quick. Real quick. This won't take very long. Let me just get that to you guys here. I'll be live with Kane today. I'll be live with Kane at 1 o'clock. It'll be fantastic. Here's the link for that. Cam says we'll continue to focus on day trading tips on customer service lives. And in the VIP room today, I'm going to talk about market structure for day trading and swing trading. I'm going to talk more about the Bollinger Band width because people were sending me so many emails about that yesterday. And we'll talk about that. It'll be very interesting. We'll have a great discussion today. Great discussion today. I promise you guys. All right. Yeah, I hope you're okay, Dr. Serena. We hope you're okay. All right, let's talk a little bit about the market, shall we? I mean, that's what we're here for, right? So, I hate to say I told you so. I should probably start out like that every morning, right? I hate to say I told you so. Also, let me give you customer service live link. Cam is going to have a lot of stuff this morning. Yeah, let me just get you, Cam. There we go. I actually could find a link here. Yeah, just send me an email. Anytime, just send me an email. A short, sweet email will do. Yeah, 250 people. Yeah, we got up to about 600 yesterday, but it was reluctant. We need to make you rich to charter a private plane. Well, Kyung, I've chartered private planes before many times. Uh, Actually, not many times. And to be honest with you, I hated it. I hated it because it made me feel really weird. I like to, even when I fly commercial, I don't fly first class. I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm just not a flashy kind of, you know, I was raised in a very conservative blue collar family. I didn't start making money till I was 29 years old. I never knew what money was till I was 29 years old. So all these things are, when you live the first 30 years with very little and you're used to it, you don't really change very much. Cardiologist, let us know. Let us know. Should be a name of this show. I hate to say I told you so. Should get a T-shirt that says I hate to say I told you so. Hey, Steve, good to see you. So yeah, so I'm not really big on that. And same thing with my wife. My wife grew up a family of educators. Everybody in her family is like PhD in math and physics. She didn't have a lot of money either. So we never really had the good life till after we were 30. So we kind of got used to it. And after you get used to living a certain way, you just get used to living a certain way. I'm not cheap, but I'm not extravagant. I've never been that way. Um, that's just how I am. I don't have like this crazy relationship with money. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will, Jeff. Maybe I will. But I did rent a private plane to go to Miami a few years back. I did. All right. The market's down about 140 points. This is really predominantly random. I don't like the fact that the Nasdaq's down about 83 points, but uh, this is not bullish right now. This is not positive. Now, folks, we have quadruple witching. I will on Monday reset the VWAP to this date. To this date. I mean, I could do it now, but I'd rather just wait till the weekend, and I'll set the VWAP to this date from the previous session. This will be our new start of the quarter. Okay, as far as pricing data. And we're also going to eliminate the VWAP from the presidential election. We don't need to have that anymore. This will be our new VWAP. We'll still keep the one from the beginning of the year. Yeah, exactly. There you go, Penny. Uh, so so um, so we're going to have the first of the year VWAP, and then we're going to have this VWAP. That'll be the two VWAPs that we use. We don't need the election VWAP anymore after this. It's been already quite a long time, and we don't need to gauge it. Globally, China continues coming off. We're now 2 days below the moving average, and as I said, we need to get past this level right here. This is the main zone, 34, but we are seeing some weakness in China. Um, yeah, that's right, Murray. That's true. Very, very, very true. Um, anyway, so this is not all that great right here. This is not all that great. But again, we're still in an uptrend. This is still in a fairly strong uptrend right here. Oops. We still have a pretty strong uptrend right here. We need to break this trend, okay? Yeah. There you go. That's the way to do it. Yeah, that's the way to do it, Eagle Beagle. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, grew up without a lot. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just that's the way life works. But it makes you appreciate when you have things now. Makes me appreciate them so much more, and I'm really grateful that I can give my kids whatever they want. They want for nothing. They don't have any loans or anything like that. So that's great. The bond market cooled off yesterday. Um, Cooled off yesterday, and it's in a choppy range. Now, you may have noticed the stock market has begun getting really choppy too. Remember, there's still a lot of correlation between the bond market and the stock market. And one thing I will say, we are still, believe it or not, we're still in a uptrend on the bond market. And we will get deflationary when we get here. And yes, I know you may think I'm crazy, but I do believe the Fed is going to lower rates around July. Around July, I think. Somewhere around July. I thought it was going to be maybe closer to May, June, but I think it's going to be July. They're going to start lowering rates as long as the CPI and the PPI data continues getting better. And as long as there's no major ramifications from the tariffs, which have not, we don't even know what they're going to be as of yet, and they're still being negotiated, I think we're going to get deflationary. We need to get above this level right here, 95. But when we get deflationary, it may cause a pause in small caps going down and may turn things around. All right. I went away to college, learned to eat sardines and bread, cheapest option where I had. Yeah, I mean, it's not, it's some people had a lot of money, some people did not have a lot of money. But you know what? I always had a lot of friends, and I always had a lot of fun, and we always made do, and we always had the best time. And now I think about it, I'm like, how did I live? But people do. You have good relationships, good friends, good family. You make things work. So the bond market is still in an uptrend. I'd love to see us break the 200-day moving average. If we can break the 200-day moving average to the upside, I think that would give the market some degree of stability. All right. Yeah. 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 So right here, very, 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 very important. We got to keep an eye at the 200-day moving average in bonds. Gold started cooling off a little bit. Remember what I said. I still like gold, but I think gold is getting a little bit ahead of itself, and I would love to see gold come down and then get back above the 8-day EMA. Probably would love to see gold if I had my if I had I would wait till gold tills about the 29.78 level. Yeah. There you go, Richard, of course. Oh, wow. Look at you guys. Yeah, family and friends, very important. All right. So right here, we cooling off, cooling off, cooling off. Crude oil doing very, 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 very little. Very, very, very little. Again, if you guys can know of a good implied volatility asset that has high implied volatility on crude, please email it to me because I'd love to do an iron condor on the energy complex because I think it's going to stay in this area, maybe come back down, but I think it's going to be boxed in into this little area right here for the foreseeable future. Here, oops, this box right here. I think we're going to be in this box for a while. Right here. I think we're going to be in this box for a while. Okay. Hey Murray, you want to hear something funny? You know that little kid from that movie who he caught at the train? He was in my fourth grade class. His name is John. The little kid from the train from the that was by the way, that was Griffith Park. That was the Griffith Park with the little kid with the train with the mom in the jerk. Yeah, his name was John. He was in my class. Pretty funny, right? The kid from the jerk. I grew up in Los Angeles. What are you going to do? All right, US dollar is still choppy. Still no range right here. No range, no range, no range, which means gold will probably consolidate, keep consolidating. The little train. Yeah, the little kid on the train with the real curly hair, the little guy. Yeah, he was in my fourth or fifth grade class, John. I'll never forget it. Yeah. Classic movie. Yeah. 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 The little train. That's right. So US dollar, not really doing very much. Not really doing very much. Very much. Very, very caught. And you could see this is slowing down the US stock market. The fact that we're in these ranges right here. Remember, everything is connected. I wouldn't be doing that, Tiago. I would be converting your dollar to Australian dollar right now. They're like 50% on the value right now. You can and hold it in Aussie dollars. That's what I would do. I worked through college, was a musician, and work off factories overseas. Entered the Navy, flew out to pay for loans. Yep, and it's paid me 14% uptick in 2 months. It's still a bargain price. I seldom buy stock, but this one's a nice Eagle Beagle. Nice, nice, very very nice. Yeah, Dr. Serena, I hope you feel better. If there's anything we can do for you, please let us know. All right, so we got the box here, okay? We got the box. All right. Well, what about Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin doing? You see how right now we look like we can come down right here? I'm seeing the same type of pattern with a lot of stocks right now. Like they went about as high as they want to go. So keep an eye on GBTC. The level you want to put an alert at is 66. Put an alert here at 66. If it breaks 66, the odds are it's going to test 62. Okay? Just letting you know right now. The odds are it'll hit 62. If it goes down here to if it breaks 66, it'll go down to 62. That's a potential short trade, but it's got to break 66 first. I know a lot of you. So I want to tell you something, and I want you guys to write this down. I want you guys to write this down, okay? Because I see a lot of you doing this. A lot of you doing this. A lot of you. There are two type. Please write this. Please write down what I'm about to say, okay? It's going to change your life, okay? I mean, it's going to change your life a little bit, but it'll change your life. There are two types of trades, and there's two types of traders. There's anticipatory traders, and there's confirmation traders, okay? Now, what a lot of you will do is they'll say, well, Roger thinks it's going to go down, so I'm just going to go sell it right now. I'm not going to wait for it to hit 66, okay? Listen, I'm saying something important, something that you would pay big money for without even knowing. So I'm telling it to you for free. There's two kinds of trades. There's anticipatory trades and there's confirmation trades. If you wait for this to get to 66, that would be a confirmation trade. If you sell it now with the anticipation of it getting to 66, that's an anticipatory trade. About 85% of the trades that I give you guys are confirmation trades. They're not anticipatory trades. 15% of trades that I give you are anticipatory trades. What are the upside and the downside of anticipatory trades versus confirmation trades? Confirmation trades have higher win rate, lower profit per trade. Confirmation trades have higher win rate, lower profit per trade. Anticipatory trades have higher profit per trade, but they have a smaller win rate. Okay, most of you guys are fixated like there's no tomorrow on a high win rate. I get that. I was like that too. Now I don't even look at my win rate. I just look at my profit factor. But a lot of you are fixated on your win rate, which is fine. That's okay. That'll go away over time. You're not going to look at your win rate over time. But for now, your win rate's important to you. Fine. I get it. I get it. It gives you a sense of well-being, and you need to have a well-being feeling in order to trade successfully. So 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 one of the things that I want you guys to make sure when you start writing things down, I know all of you are using Trading Sync now, and all of you are taking notes and taking comments on your trades. Now, I've never talked about this. I've never even explained this to Richard before. He doesn't know what I'm talking about right now. He may know this, but he doesn't. We've never talked about this. So this is the first time I'm telling you this. So when you are journaling your trades, put a A next to it or a C next to it, anticipatory or confirmation, so that you know whether the trade was an anticipatory trade or a confirmation trade. Over time, you'll find that you prefer one over the other. Okay. So if I trade for myself, most of the time I don't do confirmation trades because I don't care about my win rate. My win rate means nothing to me. I could have a 20% win rate. I care about my profit factor. But I know a lot of you care about your win rate, which is fine. It's you need to have those, you need to have that on your training wheels for your first 5, 10 years. I understand that. I get it. So when you when you do that, mark it so you can then at the end of the month, end of the quarter, um, yes. So you'll notice that you will eventually like you will develop a style, your own style, based on everything I'm telling you. Some of you are already doing that, and you'll find that anticipatory trades have a higher win rate. I mean, excuse me, a higher profit, but they have a lower win rate. Okay, and again, confirmation trade have a higher win rate but lower profit per trade because you're waiting for a confirmation. Okay, so I want you guys to start. I want profit factor, win rate, secondary for me. Profit factor. Profit factor should be the only thing that really matters, but I know a lot of folks gauge what they do with win rate, and we are high probability traders, at least the way I'm teaching you right now. Um, but I get it. I get it. You don't want to keep trading if you're going to have losers over and over again. I get it. I get it. I get it. Your win rate should be secondary. Profit factor should be number one. Okay. So today, when we meet in the Alpha Zone Pro, I'm going to give you guys rules for a day trading system that I paid $5,000 for about 30 years ago. It was called R Breaker. I'm going to give you the rules for it. It's accurate about 25% of the time, but this thing is a profit factor beast. I'll show you the difference between the two different styles, okay? Everything I show you guys is based on confirmations. I only teach you guys confirmations. I don't teach you guys anticipatory trades because you guys you don't have the experience and you don't have the staying power. Okay? Yeah. So what I want you guys to do is when you take trades, you should wait for confirmations. If you don't wait for confirmations, then you should start journaling. You should start journaling confirmation, anticipatory, confirmation, anticipatory. Why? Because they have a different profile, as I just explained. They have a different risk to reward profile. Okay. Profit factor is number one. Profit factor is number one. Number of winners is number two. That's right, Eagle Beagle. I know traders. I know a futures trader. Okay, Merrill Black. His win rate's about 35-40%, but his profit factor is freaking amazing. So yeah. And I'll show you. It's okay if you guys are. It's okay to be fixated on a high win rate. It's okay. I know that's okay. I know traders who've been doing this for 15, 20, 30 years who are fixated on a high win rate. They're all confirmation traders. But I just want you to understand the difference between the two. And I actually wanted to teach you something that you've never heard from anybody else before. There's 463 people. Has anybody ever learned anything that what I just taught you? Have you guys heard it from any other guru? Anticipatory versus confirmation trades. Have you guys ever heard that before in your life from anybody else? Yes or no? Come on, guys. We only have this 8-second delay here. Let me know. Let me know if you've ever heard that before, because I don't want to teach you things that you already know. So let me know. Let me know if that's something you've heard before. No, first time. No, no. Okay, good. That's what I thought. If anybody says yes, I would be very surprised. Okay, does it make sense? So if that's the only thing you learn from me this week, you've already learned more than about 99.999999999% of retail traders know. That's the difference between somebody who actually does this and somebody who just talks about it all day long like an asshole. Little nuances like that. Little things like that. When you start picking up things like that, like what I just showed you, it really starts opening your door. It's not a confirmation. No, it's not a confident versus confirmed. No, RJ. No. Don't please stop bringing Rob Hoffman into my conversations. He taught us a few months ago, been journaling, and it works. Good. See, my job is to teach you things that you haven't heard from anybody else, not shit you've heard from everybody else. Okay, now let's talk about break down the market and let's talk about technicals, okay? Good. That makes me happy. See, if I could teach you something you've never heard before, but something you can apply every day to your trading, that made me feel good. Then I did something good today. All right, markets are down just a hair. Let's see if they're still down. As concerns over tariffs and weak corporate earnings weighed on sentiment. I think earnings have been mixed. I'll do an earnings report, but I don't think earnings have been that bad. I think it's mostly tariffs, but I'll take a look. Investors are facing an increased uncertainty outlook for the global economy amid concerns over impact of U.S. tariffs. I think by now everybody knows this. I don't think there's anything I could say that people don't know at this point. Inventory for my longer term holdings in my IRA. Yeah, longer term is okay. Yeah. Journaling is so good. Time for day that you went for trades. What times are more profitable? Yeah, Rich, that's also very important. Put the time you place for trades. You'll find that the later you take a day trade, the more accuracy it'll have. The earlier in the morning you take a day trade, the less accuracy it'll have, which is completely contradictory to 95% of all traders out there. You should day trade in the morning when volatility is high. Sure, when there's no foreseeability to the market. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's a good way to lose money. Don't listen to the crap you hear from most people. It's nonsense, okay? And don't ask me. Yeah, I know what his company. RJ, I don't want to argue with you about Rob Hoffman. All right, FedEx slumped over 6%. Over 6%, not really good. Not good for transports. Nike, I thought Nike numbers were actually really good, but not good. They couldn't hold up. Nike down 7, FedEx down 9, Micron down 3.5. Oh, yeah. Whew, not good. And remember something. Companies like FedEx, Micron. See, here's the thing. Sylvain, I just want to say something about what you wrote. Think about the significance of all of this. Nike is down 7%. Nike's huge for consumer discretionary in China, right? FedEx down 9, major transport company, right? See, it's not that these stocks are down all that bad. It's the fact that each of these stocks has a major impact on the entire sector. That's what I don't like about these earnings that you're showing me right now. I don't like the fact that Nike's not just a clothing company. It's a staple for consumer. It's a staple for Chinese manufacturing and demand for clothing. FedEx is not just a shipping company. It's a bellwether for transports and consumer demand, right? And commercial demand. Micron, we know what happens when Micron down, the impact it has on chip stocks, right? And Lennar is down 4%, which is a home builder, which also, so it's not that these companies are down. They're not down like 20% or anything. It's the fact that these companies all have a major impact in their respective industries. That's what I don't like about these earnings here. Jeff says, printing my ZT butterflies. Yep, waiting for. Yeah, you got to wait for the first hour of the day. I love the fine momentum. Last half hour strategy you talked about, it works. Yes, it works well. I'll talk about that again today too. Melvin, what is the formula for profit factor? Uh, Send me an email and I'll just send it to you. It's losers divided by winner. Just send me an email and I'll give it to you. You could look it up, Melvin. You could look it up on Google, but send me an email and I'll forward it to you. Do the futures of S&P Micro move the same as S&P ETF? Yeah, they key off of each other, Ani Kumar. That's why I keep telling you should trade them. Arnulfo says, Carlos, good to know. RJ, zero DTs can be done any time of day that the opportunity presents. Well, yeah, you can, but RJ, I don't like to do zero DTs after early in the morning because the DK is too big. I like to do one DT. Eagle, our tariffs did podcast with Adam Tagart, and it was a Trump discussion. I think Trump is spite of it. I don't know. I don't know what Trump is doing. Eagle agrees totally. Total of all wins in dollars over a lot. Yeah. There's the formula right there. Robert, 162. Hey, guys, how about some thumbs up? How about some thumbs up while I read these? And I'm going to go on to technicals. We only have, I don't know, let's see how many thumbs up we have. We have 168 thumbs up, and we have almost 500 people in here. How about some thumbs up, guys? How about we get at least 250, 300 thumbs up? Okay, let's go back to my discussion. The Yelta conference. AlphaZone is going to rip the futures. Look forward to it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could trade E-mini futures and micro futures. It was designed for them from the ground up. So, yes. All right. So the fact that Nike didn't do well is very bad for the market today. Very bad. See, uncertainty, pre-market, growing trade war uncertainty. We've all talked about this a million times. Usually by the time it's here, I stop talking about it. I've been talking about this for 2 months. After they start writing in here, it's like la, 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 la. ACN slumped over 7%, top percentage loser, chief executive starter. The federal spending cuts were beginning to affect the company's revenue. You see, folks, all this uncertainty is starting to, which is exactly what I was telling you, it's starting to work itself into companies. It's the uncertainty. Microchip lost, excuse me. I thought they gained. Top percentage loser, struggling. Company announced that it hired to assist its wafer. I'm going to be selling this every chance I get, this microchip company. Rivian fell over 4%. Not good for solar stocks or Tesla. Darden climbed 5%. It was a gainer. Good. At least consumer discretionary restaurants are doing well. Philly manufacturing index came stronger than expected. February existing home sales rose. So there's some silver lining. Also, remember, guys, I'm going live with Mr. Kane today. I'm going live with Mr. Kane. And don't forget, Customer Service Live, where Gustavo and Cam have you guys covered every step of the way. We now have an 83% chance that the Fed is not going to take any action in May. I'm pretty certain that'll be the case, but notice it's not like 95%. It's now 83%. You'll see. I don't know right now. I don't have it pulled up, but does anybody know what the July looks like with the probabilities? If you guys know the probability, I'll ask Kane. He knows. He's really big on that because he's a bond trader. But I'm curious what the July probabilities are. If anybody knows what the July probabilities are, please let me know. If I had to put my thumb on it, I would say it's between 40 and 50% right now. But again, if you guys know, let me know. I'm very curious. I'm really actually very curious about that. Europe is down 0.63, extended loss from prior session. Worries about global economic outlook continue to dampen sentiment. Same story every day. Travel stocks led the decline after major fire. That's like the last thing they need to. Did you guys know that? They closed Heathrow Airport. Beautiful airport. Ask Hubert Centers. RJ, what is it? Let me ask you a question. RJ, do you have a need to put other gurus' names in my broadcast? Because I'm about to kick your ass out of here. Can you not do that? I mean, like, do you have to disrespect me? Ask Hubert. Why do we have to put other people? You know what? I mean, just being inappropriate, man. Don't do that. Don't do that again. Uh, China index closed lower, making a third straight session of losers. Investors point to the lack of fresh catalyst. Technology stocks were under heavy selling pressure. It's a furu who thinks he's a guru. Uh, Technology stocks were under heavy selling pressure on Friday. Nikkei closed lower. Trading resumed after the holiday. Nothing initially climbed, trying to catch up, but couldn't do it. Yeah. I didn't ask you about. I didn't ask you anything about Rob Hoffman or Hubert Centers. I never mentioned any of them. Jesus. I mean, RJ. As much as I'm trying to help you, you just don't seem to understand who people who really trade are and people who just try to sell you nonsense are. And unfortunately, I can't seem to get through your head. Maybe other people here can get it through your head. Um, Closed lower today, resumed after the holiday. Not Europe didn't do us any Japan didn't do us any good. China didn't do us any good, and Europe is not doing us any good. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Patrick. Thank you. All right, so we're not getting any tailwind from anywhere. And here's what somebody mentioned earlier a few minutes ago on FedEx. This is very, very bad for transports, folks. I don't really care about FedEx. I care about the impact on bigger companies. Nike, impact on bigger companies. Not bigger companies, on other, like Lulu, for example. Think about all the clothing that's made in China. This is not good for us, folks. This is very bad. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying fundamental news that impacts a major stock always has an impact on the broader market ramifications. Okay? Always has impact on and I'm really like going out of my way to give you guys a really good value today. Not some repackaged bullshit that you guys can get everywhere else. All right. Super micro computers, UPS down. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good. This is not helpful. So I don't like what I'm seeing today. Indices. All right. Well, we're down 146 on the Dow, but we're only down about 82 on NASDAQ. Anything under 100 is random. I wouldn't put too much effort into that. We have quadruple witching today, which means we're going to see a lot of volatility. We haven't seen a lot of volatility, but we could be setting ourselves up for a lot of volatility, especially with these stocks having bad earnings. All right. Yep, old saying, banks and transports lead you in and out of recession. Yeah, as a matter of fact, what Graham just wrote is very true. I've never seen a bull market without financials participating. It's very true. Stacy says around Christmas, FedEx was terrible in getting packages. Go to track in. Um, yeah, well, I've never actually had any issues with FedEx, but I'm pretty sure other people have. I've never actually had any problems with FedEx, but expect volatility. Expect volatility. All right, let's switch our focus to the stock market now, okay? Oh, and by the way, my VIP room at noon, here's a link for that. Thank you, Sean. I didn't see it there earlier. Thank you for doing that. Yes, Deborah says confirmation only. Good. And by the way, this goes without saying, if you've only been trading for, say, a couple of years and you're still struggling to be consistent, my suggestion is not to take any anticipatory trades. My suggestion is only take confirmation trades. You will make less money, but you will have a higher win rate. And win rate for people who've just started trading is very, very, very important. It's very important. Why is China down? Yeah, well, right here. I read it. It's right here. China index lower, making a third straight session of losses as investors pointed to a lack of fresh catalyst. Technology were under heavy selling pressure. Tech stocks and just sentiment. Obviously from tariffs and all that stuff, you know. Yeah, we're going to talk about sectors in 1 second. So let's look at volatility. What is volatility doing? Volatility did make a lower low yesterday, but did it really stay there? We're still above 20 right now. As long as we're above 20, no soup. What are we going to look for today? We're going to look for volatility to be below 20. Are we going to get it today? Well, not if the market's going to be doing this, right? What Jeff just said, exactly. Yeah. Normal FedEx was good. I hear you, Stacy. They could be having, I don't know. I don't want to comment on things I have no idea about, but I just don't know. And also remember, the US dollar is not really giving us much tailwind here either. So not expecting a lot there. So volatility, we're still above 20. I want us to break this level. Now, I know I keep saying it every day. I want us to keep the previous level, but it did break the level, but then it went all the way back up and closed in this range right here. What I wanted to do is I want to see a wick here, not meat. The fact that the meat was here was not great. I want to see us go to the 50-day line. My suggestion would be to use this level, this 50-day moving average. So at 19, but once we're below this level right here, this moving average, it's 1869, then I think we're going to see some institutional buying. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Thank you. And again, don't forget, I have a live class with Kane today at 1 o'clock, and I'm going to ask him about those probabilities. Hey guys, if you can make a note for yourself, can you make a note and remind me to ask Kane when I see him at 1 o'clock? We're all going to be live about the probabilities for the July. I'm really curious what the probabilities are for July. And if anybody here knows what the probabilities are for July right now, yeah, I'll take a quick look at the VIX right now. Hold on. And customer service live. Let me give you guys that. And then I'll get into my deeper analysis. Let's look. I haven't even brought my computer from my laptop. I got to connect it and get everything going. And remember, I'm working from home, so I don't have to be rushed today. Let's look at VIX. Let's take a look at VIX. Yeah, VIX is at 1995 right now. Looks like it's going down a little bit. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Let's look at bonds. Bonds are going up. That's great. Let's look at stocks. Stocks are going down. That's not good. And by the way, I hate to say I told you so, but what is this turning into? What pattern is this turning into? I talked about it yesterday at length. What happens when we break this level? What happens? What happens? Does anybody know what happens when we break this level, this 559.02 level? That's right, Gaston. Good morning, Gaston. That's right, Rich. That's right. That's right. Man, I've taught you guys well. Becomes an A-line. Right there. There we go. Set an alert for a week right there at that level. Yeah, we're going down right now. How about QQQ? Ay vey. If QQQ goes below 472.61, what do we have? RJ, how come I don't see you here when I ask people questions? How come I don't see you? How come I don't see you talk here? How come you're not responding here when I'm actually asking people a question? Yeah, not good. RSP right here, this level right here, 172.55. I sure hope you guys are typing all this. ask others to get answers. All right. Murray, the probability of the Federal Reserve rate cuts in July is currently around 14%. However, some sources high as 45.9. I don't want to hear I want to hear what's priced into the market. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I don't see you saying a. All right. I'm not going to argue. This is ridiculous. All right. SMH. Let's look at SMH. 223.21. 223.21. What happens when we break 223.21? A line. A line. All right. A line. All right. Let's continue. Let's now look at major levels on the SPY. Yeah, we just talked about this, didn't we? That's right now. It's not good. Next target right here, 540, 540, 550, right here. QQQ. And by the way, do you guys remember somebody telling you beginning of this week? Here, let me see if I can show it to you. Remember this? Down arrows, me talking about lots of wicks. There's zero momentum to the upside. Notice every time we get towards the 200-day moving average, pow, pow. This is just a free public Telegram channel. Hold on, I just want to show you this. I had a perfect picture beginning of the week. There we go. Look at that. I'm glad to hear that, RJ. I'm glad to hear that. Yes. Or if it can get, Carlos, if it can get to the 200-day moving average. I also said if it can get to the 200-day moving average. Yeah. Hey, Mark. Hey, Michael. You guys remember that? Nothing changed. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. If we can get to the 200. If we can get to the 200. All right. Right here. Right here. 472. 472. Right? Hey, don't say I didn't tell you 100 times all week. And look at the wick. See, every time it starts getting closer to the 200, you see how it gets wicky? That means price is pushing it down. It couldn't even get to the 200. Couldn't even get to the 200. You must have put new batteries in that Chinese crystal ball. I love you guys. You guys are great. You guys are great. All right. So now here's something interesting. Okay. So something interesting. Look at semiconductors. Semiconductors rallied. Carlos, take a look at this. Folks, Micron had bad earnings today. SMH. This is SMH. Look at. I don't know why I'm refreshing exactly the same screen. Um, NVID. See this? Remember I drew this yesterday for you guys, and I said that if it has a hard time getting up to the upper area, it usually just peters out here and comes back down. Carlos, keep an eye, and when I say Carlos, I'm talking to everybody. I just know Carlos personally. Keep an eye on this level right here, 114.35 and 112.72. If we break these levels, I would just continue adding to the position till we make a new low right here. But I would first want to break this low. I wouldn't do an anticipatory trade. I would do a confirmation trade. Okay? All right. Let's not argue, guys. Let's just move forward, okay? All right. This is the part that I think a lot of you were waiting for, and I want to spend a little time here right now. It's all good. It's just everybody's good. RJ's a good guy. He emails me all the time. He's a good guy. He's just like he. It's all good. It's all good. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. It's all good. I don't want to. I don't want any. I don't. We're having such a good session. I don't want to mess it up. Okay. Uh, sector strength. Sector strength. Well, first before sector strength, including ETFs. including ETFs, including ETFs. Come on, guys, let's all be nice. Let's just all be nice, okay? Let's all be nice. Let's all be adults here, okay? We're all here. We all have the same goal. We want to learn how to trade the market better, and we want to make more money. Let's just stick with that. So, folks, this is excluding ETFs. This is excluding ETFs, okay? Yeah, no disharmony. Exactly. We have 45 and 44. We have 45 and 44 right here. Okay. 45 and 44. We don't have any momentum to the upside or downside, this is including ETFs. What about excluding ETFs? Which is kind of weird. It's like no ETFs here either. Same thing. So there is no momentum in the market right now. Now, remember what we said today. We think the market's going to go down. Well, there's no momentum right now to the market, so we really need to see a strong move for the market to go lower. Yeah, it's all good. Just forget it. Forget about all this. Forget about all this, guys. Let's just move on, okay? So if there's less than 100 here, this doesn't give us a lot of momentum. Now, as I'm doing this, I want to show you something right now, okay? I want to show you. And by the way, Bitcoin isn't up here either. It's coming down. Mags, let's look at, we didn't look at Mags, by the way. We didn't look at Mags. See, saying consolidation, no directional bias. Okay, what are large caps doing? What is Tesla doing? You guys know I've been pretty bearish on Tesla the last few days. Tesla's in this range. It's probably just going to stay range bound here. It's not going anywhere, Arnolfo. It's not going anywhere. That's the thing. It's not going up or down. It's not going anywhere. Very dead. Yesterday, remember what I said? You guys might have seen me make a note here yesterday. Funny that Wesley just said that. You might have seen me make a note here. I actually said something here yesterday. Probably the most difficult market in 7 years. Hopefully the chop fest will stop sooner than later. Now, I said that yesterday at 3:59. The most difficult market in over 7 years. So I'm not, and by the way, it's not I'm not making any excuses, and we haven't had a loser in the pit since January. I'm still being reminded of that Home Depot and D-Dog trade. Those were the last losers that we've had. But with that said, it's been a very, very challenging market. It's very hard for me to trade right now. It's very hard for me to trade, which is why I'm telling most of you, when you see Tesla doing this, when you see Mags doing this, it's best to just stay out of the market unless you really know what you're doing or you're day trading. Because this is just, we have no momentum. Remember, the mega caps is what drives the markets. And right now we have nothing. Now, we do have something if we break the 45.72 level. Yeah, there's just nothing here, man. Yeah, it's great that he brought him back. That's fantastic. Yeah, worse than 7 years. Worse than 7 years. The Commerce says selling people to buy Tesla stock, that's illegal. Yeah, they should. The Commerce Department, that's so illegal. That's so illegal on so many levels. That's a law school exam right there. Yeah, you can't use the government to sell a public company. That's called collusion. That's called price fixing. That's an SEC violation. Folks, that's like a law school exam right there. All right, we got 600 people. So I want to show you what is making me very nervous right now. Okay. This is not a bad market. Okay. So, folks, real quick. There's a big difference between a bad market and a difficult market. A difficult market is a market when there's no trend. Like right now. Like, look, how do you trade when the fangs are doing this? Not even this. I mean, I could trade on this. I could trade this. I could even trade this. But how do you trade this? And then remember, the mega caps, they're like the firepower. They're like the big daddy, right? Because that's like they're like 30% of what 20-30% of the market cap of all stocks. So that's where the firepower is coming from. So when you see Google doing this, my I'm not bullish today, but my question is, are we going to do we have enough firepower with this quadruple witching to break the low, or are we going to have another inside day? That's kind of where I'm at right now. Okay. Yeah. Day trading is great right now. And by the way, day trading is great. Day trading is great even when we have great swing trading. But right now, day trading is good because we just having this instead of this. So there's not a lot of follow through. Let's put it this way. I launched the Alpha Zone Pro without trying to. It just happened by accident at the most opportune time. And again, it wasn't planned. It was just happened that way. Look at this. See? That's bad. That's not good. That's not good. So, I want you guys to see something right now. I'm going to show you my short list. And I want you to look at these stocks as I'm giving them to you. Okay. And this is very disappointing because I have several A lines on my downside. Watch this. That's an A line right there. That's a nice looking A line. How about, do you guys see where I'm going with this? BRKR. That's another A line. Hey, how about this one? That's an A line. How about this one? DD. That's an A line. This has to maybe just trade a little bit lower right there. It already did. Just that's a confirmation right there. But you got it right there. How about this? Eplovian. Not yet. But if it trades right here, I'm going to erase this from my list. CDW. That's an A line right there. That's a classic A line right there. What will happen to SPY if the tech market moves? Well, the tech is 50, if SPY is 50% tech. So do you see the problem I'm having with this market? How about Jacobs Engineering? I just showed you a tech stock, a semiconductor stock, a network stock, and they're all having A lines. Folks, don't look now. That's an A line. Uh, Car Gurus. I've never traded this stock, but it sure looks fun to me. Look at this thing. That's an A line right there. Hub. That's almost an A line. Just has to go right below this bar, and we have an A line. And it's a very nice pullback from the 8-day EMA. It's a program that I have. I actually was looking at Lulu today, but it didn't make it on my list for some reason. Let's see. Now I know why. It's got to break the 200. See, SCU Bacchus, you're not looking at the 200-day moving average, my friend. We got to break the 200. And we got to break this level right here, 313. Then it becomes an A line. Target. Look at Target. Now, that's not an A line. It's a breakdown, but which is even worse. That's not good. How about Picard? I think I gave this as a watch list stock yesterday. It's an A line. Guru, whatever it is. Anyway, those are my short stocks. Do you see the problem I'm having? That's a lot of A lines. That's a lot of A lines. In addition to those, I have box. Don't get boxed in. See, we broke the 200-day. Now it's okay. We got a confirmation. If you did it here, you would do it as an anticipatory trade. And I would never, ever do that with a 200-day line because it holds. And ELF. Elf Beauty. So you guys could see I have a lot of shorts on my list. Well, thank you, Gustavo. Yeah. And what Carlos just said too, the candles are getting smaller, which actually dictates less momentum. But again, and that would confirm this. But again, we have quadruple witching today, so I don't know if we're going to have a run day or if we're going to have a consolidation day. One second, my wife just wanted to say good morning to me. She just got up. So now, Roger, what if you're wrong and we're going to go up? That's great. I've got long stocks for you too. But I'm not. I'm just not seeing it. And look at the quality of the stocks that are in the upside. First of all, they're the same ones I've been talking about every single day. Why? Because there aren't any. My choice is not 300. It's 40. I got. How do I choose stocks from there? JG, ICE. You guys take ICE yesterday in the pit? Yes, the first hour should give us an idea. There you go. Yeah. No, we've had put trades in A line before. ICE, CVS. Do you guys remember CVS and ICE? Where did those two names come from? Yes, that's what I said, Helen. I said I'm expecting low volatility based on market internals, but we have quadruple witching and word key levels. That's why I said I'm that's my point. You're kind of making my point that if we didn't have quadruple witching, everything is looking like it's going to base out. But we have quadruple witching. That's the problem. Yeah, yeah. Notice defensive stocks. CVS. It's a defensive stock. CME, bank and financial stock, fintech, which I really like. I remember I told you last quarter I really liked financial tech. Well, guess what? ICE and CME are financial techs. And I told you I really like that sector. DTE, utility stock. I think Nathan Watkins actually gave me this one yesterday, which is great. You could do longs, but just these very, very defensive stocks. One thing we know for sure, they're definitely being bought up by institutions. There's no way in hell the stock would have done this if it wasn't being bought up by institution in this current market environment. GL, but again, notice no Nvidias, no Teslas, no AMDs, these type of stocks. They're easy for me to trade right now. That's why I gave them to you because the market's down. So I know for sure they're being accumulated. That's why you guys traded ICE and CVS in the pit with a profit this week. VRSN. I like this stock, VRSN. Very nice looking stock. The best looking stock today, actually. And Core. Usually I have 10 stocks that look like that. Today I have one. Nice looking stock. All right. What is witching? It means option expiration. Good, Patrick. Good. Now, are there any questions? Are there any questions that I did not answer? Please let me know if there's any questions that I did not answer. I want to make sure you have your questions. I'm not in a rush today. I don't have to go anywhere. I'm going to be working from this desk all day today. Insurance stocks carry a lot of reserve to cover liability. Very defensive. Yeah, and utilities too, Jeff. Utility. Yeah, it's option expiration. See right here? Look. Quad witching, futures, options on stocks, monthly and weekly. Everything is expiring today. Usually we have a lot of volatility when we have that. A lot of volatility. Any questions? Any questions? Let's see what the SPY is doing before I let you guys loose. And remember, we're having a session at 10:30. Let's see what the market's doing. Bonds are flat. SPY is down. Did we break that level? Yep, we broke that level, by the way. Remember I told you about that level, that key level? We broke it. Let's see, QQQ, not yet. SMH, we broke it. So we broke that A-line level. We now have a confirmation A-line on the SMH and the SPY. That's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. Why? Because when options, Alan, that's a good question. Because yeah, I'm about to do it right now. I was about to put customer service live right now. I usually do it at the same time. Yeah, I always put the customer service live. I love people going to Cam and Gustavo's show. Yeah, it's option expiration, so all the market makers are trying to jack you out of your trades. About put writing on mags now, but I'm not sure if that's appropriate. No, you don't want to write any puts on mags right now, Olya. You want to wait for us to bottom out first and start going up. Because market makers, Alan, screw with us. And that's the Cam and Gustavo link right there, RJ. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions before I let you guys go? Since interest rates seem to be going down and utilities are rate sensitive, defensive, would this be a good sector to look at? I honestly, I would be thinking about the short side right now, and I wouldn't be looking at the long side right now, Helen. I wouldn't. There's nothing good to the long side. Maybe insurance stocks, like Jeff just said. Insurance stocks are pretty good. I would rather do insurance because they have less correlation with the bond market. You see, you have too much correlation with utilities and bonds are in play right now because of the tariffs. PJ Mann says time to buy foreign stocks. Yes, foreign. Well, that's what's been money's been going into. I mean, look at the U.S. dollar; it's coming down. All right, guys. Alpha Zone class today at 10:30. Yeah, folks, at 10:30, I am having my class for Alpha Zone Pro. The link should be in your members portal. Okay. Omar says, why did you focus more on options than futures in your career? What made you choose options over futures? Omar, that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all, actually. So let me tell you, if you guys have a few minutes, I'll tell you what happened. So when I first started out, when I started law school, I decided I wanted to get into this business right before I started law school, and I got accepted. After I finished law school, I knew already at that point, I was already trading full time, and I was already making more money than I would ever make as a lawyer already for like a year and a half. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get a job at a brokerage firm because I wanted to get some experience and I wanted to open up my own brokerage firm. Well, if you open up if I went into the stock side of things, I would basically learn how to be a salesman because stockbrokers have absolutely no experience in trading. They're just salesmen. But futures brokers actually understand the market. You have to. So, and I really like chart reading. So I got a job down about for a futures brokerage firm called Kane Trading, long time ago. And I worked there for 6 months, and I wanted to get experience in trading futures because futures analysts use technical analysis, which is what I was using, not fundamentals, especially 30 years ago on stocks. So futures was where all the money was. But then after I was doing futures for some time, we started getting volatility in the stock market. Stocks started getting volatile. We started getting movement in the stock market. Stock market started getting some value. So stocks started moving very, very much, and that's how I got back into stocks. So I was originally a futures trader, and my funds were actually futures funds. They were not stock funds. I never managed stocks. I only managed futures. But S&P futures, Nasdaq futures, there's those kind of equity futures. But my institutional experience is actually from the futures side, not the stock side. So I actually know more about futures, or just about as much about futures as I do about stocks, which makes it so easy for me to teach about futures and stocks. Now, the regulatory bodies have a huge problem with futures. They hate futures. So when we teach stuff, we always teach everything from a stock side because we don't want to get into trouble with NFA and CFTC because they're very litigious. And because there's a lot of hanky-panky that happened over the years on the futures side and not on the stock side. So I just stick to teaching the stock side. Hopefully that made sense, and you got an honest answer out of me. Okay, so I actually started on the futures side, and then got into this side. I don't know. I'm going to ask Brian. Brian, are you here? I'm going to ask Matt right now. I don't know. I got to ask Brian and Matt, and I haven't talked to them yet. They said Friday, so I'm hoping by the end of today it'll be ready. All right, guys, I will let you go. Have a fantastic day. Remember, we have live with Kane, live with Kane. See, it's great when I'm not in a rush. And we have VIP room at noon right here. And let me give you customer service live once again, the Cam and Gustavo show. There you go. All right, guys. Now you know a little more about me. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you later today. You'll be seeing me for quite a while. And by the way, semiconductors, they're just down ticking. Look at that. Micron, man. Micron. Look at not good, not good. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Stay out of trouble today, folks. Stay out of trouble today. It's going to be one of those days.